I am not an alarmist person, but I want people be aware about that. Especially people who are unaware of that, that are very busy working and giving the kids to the Caesar, um, because they are so busy to take care directly of their kids. You know what I mean? Um, we cannot leave the kids alone in this kind of institutions.
Hmm.
We need to be
That
with them.
you can see in this book, Diego and Donald, Jason, you can see how, and you can see that, like, watch any television show, any sitcom, whatever. You're gonna, show me a strong, capable father, and like that nuclear family. They're attacking the dad here. They're attacking,
Yes.
those structures. They're attacking the nuclear family, which is the foundation for society, right? So you said a couple of times, Diego, that your kids have to prepare for war, even going into kindergarten. How do you guys propose that we stop that? Outside of homeschooling and pulling your kids outside of the system, how do you guys propose we stop this from happening?
It's my turn. Can I go? Um, for me, it's not an easy time right now, but I understand that we'll pass in for that moment, for also the benefit a greater good for other families. Obviously, homeschooling is an option, but I think also we need to take care of our institutions in a some way. Um, we pay a lot of taxes, and let me tell you something about Quebec. Um, Almost 40% of our salary goes directly to the state of Quebec to have this kind of institutions. Mm, we had a ministerial policy to share this kind of content, but there is no a way to restore or to let dissident voices be heard. You know, each policy must be plain with an alternative for possible victims of a policy. You know, and there is no the case in Quebec. So my deception with Quebec is it's terrible. Um, for us, the immediate project is to restore our financial situation, think immediately in move to a safe place, and we need to work with parents. I think we need to talk, but always with respect and arguments. We cannot ban books. We need to talk about books, I think.
Guys, where is there? Diego, you mentioned having to move to a safe place. With the mandates of 20, what was it, 2020 when they instituted them?
Anthony, uh-huh,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah. Plant our flag, or find somewhere where we could we could survive whatever was coming.
Hmm.
Um, but with this ideology, it's not just it's in Alberta too. Like, Alberta's not safe from it. You guys can attest to that. So where is there a safe place? Like, is it where is there to run? And if there's nowhere to run, how do we fight this wisely?
I think that we need to rebuild our homes and our communities. Um, the way to fight globalism is localism, and we fight this kind of doctrine around values. I think alternative media need to be our voices, dissident voices. It's true that this ideology is everywhere, especially United States, Canada, all first world nations. We need to we need to fight with all we can, share information, make forums, debates, public debates about hard topics, and be together as citizens, because I don't have a lot of hope in political class. Um, we need to take control and responsibility about our country. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. It's humiliating for males. You know more than me what happened in army, no? What happened with tampons in the bathrooms of the army, you know?
Mhm.
um, because they don't want alpha males. They don't want people that are ready to die for her family, for his family, you know, because we have a problem here. um yes, for the moment is my reflection. I let you talk.
Yeah, and yeah, Donald, one second. I'm just going to add one thing to there. You're not wrong. We are in a war, so don't surrender your children.
Mm.
This needs to happen at home, your dinner table. And Diago, you're doing exactly what you need to do. You're standing up for your children, even in the face of authorities and the threat of removing your child, and even being told, get ready for war in school. That's the most honest comment I think they could have given to you because they're telling you the truth. You do need to be prepared for war and don't surrender your children.
Sometimes things are so obvious that you can't believe that is true, you know, but this case is true. It's so obvious that all parents need to be aware of that and maybe take an informed decision, you know, knowing this kind of books. Okay, go leave your kids with this kind of institution. It's your responsibility, it's your choice, but you need also an space to voice dissident voices, you know, because this is the problem with fascism. And when I say, for example, Antifa movement, they need to read a lot of books about fascism, you know, because they are the fascists.
Mhm.
The way that
That's
they act, they are as I said, normally the things are so obvious that you have to it can do that, it can be like this, you know, but it's like this, it's obvious and it's in our eyes, in front of our eyes, you know.
that's the classic tool there, where they point at you and accuse you of doing the exact same thing that they're doing
Mhm.
themselves.
And you know what,
Confession for protection. Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, I because I am really aware about the consequences of war. I used to live in a country that have a civil conflict for more than 15 years, 50 years. And as I said, I work with victims of that conflict, especially women. I have a lot of histories about that. But we need to put in the place of the victims. And sometimes internal procedures are re-victimizing people. If nobody believes you, who can believe your story? Nor institutions, nor media, because I try to connect with some people in Quebec, even in the influencer arena, and people in Quebec are lost. Excuse me, I love Quebec. I recognize that Quebec is part of my life. My kids play in French and talk in French is his mother language. But there is a contradiction here. Quebec has a lot of exception. It's a so expensive province for Canada, and they want all people speak French. You know, it's their priority for Quebec. But look at this case. They exclude kids from playing French with their friends, apply it in a fascist way.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's clear what I want to say. Quebec wants people speaking in French, but exclude two beautiful kids to do it when they play at daycare.
Mhm.
There is not a contradiction there. So the other thing, and maybe I pray for another opportunity to talk more, but as I said, I lived a similar situation when mandates arrive. At that occasion, my dream job, I had a beautiful job in the federal government when finally, after 8 or 9 years, um, I was able to think in a professional way in my field, in international law, international relations, etc. And with all brutality, a policy was applied by good people. You know, It's- it was my boss, then they became my judge of my situation because I made an 20-page document explaining my situation and why I don't take this injection. And I was so humiliated personally, and this is the reason that I always be thankful for the Freedom Convoy. I almost lost all my life, my personal life, and uh, my wish to be Canadian, because for me, be Canadian was always a synonym of proud. I
Mm.
Mm.
took the decision to be here. I never received a help in any way from government. I never received a subsidy, but I received attacks, violation of my rights. And it's very similar because now I'm facing the same humiliation process, but it's not only me, but people that I love with all my heart. So I understand that sometimes it's difficult to believe in people because we are living in a lie world, in a world of lies. But I'm pretty sure that people who are looking the truth um, will find our history as true also, even if nobody believed me and believe my wife, excuse me. And this is the hard part. I need to find a way to restore the dignity of my wife, and I ask him for a public apologize from this director. I don't know how much time it'll take, but is my motivation now. And I ask also for the solidarity of other women. I think that woman has a enormous um, role to play in this combat. And as I said, I was aware of the war in Colombia, and I don't want to talk about war, cultural war, or I prefer combat. We are in a combat because when we talk about war, you are looking for the annihilation of the other part. You want to eradicate the other part. And I think that good people, really good people, engaged people, need to understand that like a combat. Especially people who loves martial arts need to look for sumo wrestlers, sumo, the big Japanese guys. It's like a fight that you need to occupy more space than other. And when we talk about light and darkness, dark light needs to occupy the place of the dark.